Well, 2015 is here, and I know one of the big topics on the alternative media is the elite are coming and the end is near and all other stuff. But there's actually a simple way to destroy them. Let's not even concentrate on destroying them or taking to the streets and all this other type of stuff because the solution is actually staring you right in the face. This what I'm going to actually tell you right now is going to be two words: cottage industry. And cottage industry is actually what the USA was founded upon. It sounds a little too simple. It sounds a little too much like work. Yeah, well, that's what the deal is. Now, I know the flip side to cottage industry is this, where they're really killing it, and really it's not even just a matter of nobody wants to work. There's too much regulation. I know that. But there's ways around every damn thing. But the first thing is you actually have to get something going or do something to get the ball rolling. Now, I know when people are on a grain dole, it's almost as if, the Geronimo used to say that about the Apaches. You put the warriors on the grain dole, they become fat and lazy, they no longer know how to hunt and fight and do all that type of stuff. And, it's when somebody's handed something, it's almost like they're boiling a frog in a pot. And that's exactly what the elite and the socialists are doing to people. But the solution, I know there's people that don't like what's going on. They're saying, well, no, they don't like what's going on. But, rather than get involved in all the freaking giddy rumors and stuff, actually the answer is cottage industry. And I'm going to try to make this a freaking short video. But if you realize, I'm displaying this picture because if you realize, that's exactly what America was about. We talk about the freaking founding fathers. We talk about constitutional money, silver, and all this kind of garbage. But really, what was America about? Was there any type of social programs anywhere? No. Was there any kind of bailouts for industry anywhere? No. It was a matter of do or die, baby. Suck it up. It's not that easy. It's easier to say, but the thing is, everything was cottage industry. Everything. Cottage industry. In other words, it's almost like you can destroy the elite. I know the new thing coming up now is the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It's like, oh my God, what are you going to do now? The elite are owning us. But the thing is, they don't own us. They think they own us. If you get down to the real world is material. And they know that too. But, they can't always buy it. They can't always buy it because if you got the hands and you got the skills to make it and you have the know-how how to make it, they can't do that. They need you. You don't need them. So I mean, cottage industry is actually why are the BRIC nations doing well? Like not too well recently because their currencies are doing bad because of the oil prices and stuff recently. But really, what gave rise to China? Cottage industry, but it was also they don't have too much regulation. I know that's one of the things that's really shooting cottage industry and down is too much regulation, but there's always a way around it. So, but cottage industry is actually the thing that's actually going to fight the New World Order to the max. And a lot of people just aren't seeing the obvious. It's all like, oh, look, the symbolism on a dollar bill. Oh, the symbolism in Washington, D.C., the way the roadways are. Oh, the symbolism in the corporate logos. Who gives a damn? Do you even have to buy from the corporate logos if you have people you can buy from that's cottage industry? No, not at all. And I know sometimes you say, actually, American industry can actually undercut Chinese industry pretty damn easily because the thing is, we got a lot of people today that have been educated to do things in a bureaucratic support world, I would call it that way, versus the hands-on world. A lot of times too, how many people, a lot of people don't even realize, a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of money to be made in welding. It may not be in certain areas, but it could be. It's just like you can go as far as you want in any profession. But a lot of people just won't do that because it's like, I want to be special. I want to just make $1 gazillion and have a cell phone and walk around in a jacket or a tie or whatever, have a suit and not, be narcissistic or something. A lot of people just don't want to do the blue collar work anymore. That's part of the damn reason. But, when you're talking about what is really the cause of why things are, it's not even getting involved in getting rumors and stuff that's actually going to fix the problem. Cottage industries can actually destroy the elite to the max. How many people go out there and actually learn skills today? Not too many. Not too many. I try to know a little bit of everything. I'm really more of an office person, but I have been immersed in the blue collar area quite a bit, so I do know a lot of. I'm a jack of all trades too. But the thing is, this actually is what makes the world go around. If you look around your everyday environment, it's not the electronic world that's making everything go around. Yes, that could be the sinews that can facilitate communication, know-how, and ideas, and also finance. But the thing is, it doesn't create anything in the material world. And, the elite could say, yeah, we got robots to do that. But, the problem is, that system breaks down, too, because somebody has to actually make the robots to maintain the robots, repair the robots, reprogram the robots, reboot the robots. It comes down to machines can only go so far. And actually, even look at a lot of times, a lot of people have gardens they can do. They don't do it. It's too much work. Actually, anybody in the city could do this. They could put potted plants out on balconies and stuff and grow minor gardens. They won't do it. They won't do it. But the capability's there. In other words, do we have to have genetically modified food all the time or pay high dollars for organic food? No. The capability's actually in your own two hands every day, but a lot of people don't do it. Now, I do as much as I possibly can physically in one day, but it's there's only so many hours in a day. But the thing is, a lot of people do have a lot of time on their hands because I know when you're looking at the welfare grain dole that's out there, a number of people that are actually on government assistance and a number of people that aren't working that much, they're engrossed in giddy garbage. In other words, actually I got I like YouTube, but YouTube sometimes is a reflection of society. And you think about what's the most popular things on YouTube, it's entertainment and video games. But what does that actually produce? Nothing. Maybe it's pretty cool for some leisure activity to freaking get you down from stress, play a video game or some entertainment, cool. But there's actually it's almost like there's too much of it. There's almost like there's too, do whatever you want. I mean, it's a free country, but I'm just saying it's if somebody's wondering why, if there's a problem, really the problem is the people themselves are causing the problem. The people themselves are actually allowing themselves to be led into the trap, if there is a trap being laid for us by the elite. So, I mean, anybody can grow a garden. Anybody can freaking grow vegetables, even if you're in the city. You don't have to be in the countryside. You can put them in potted plants on a balcony. You can do them indoors. You got these kits you can do that are like the organic wheat grasses. You grow those. You can grow those in a freaking closet inside your house with no, they've got these little pans and stuff with the seeds. They're very easy to do, and they're very, very healthy and very organic. So, but nobody does it, Now, elitism actually is the art of being a snobby asshole. Now, I know, my uncle was a big time CPA up in New York City. He was one of the top in his field. He had his own firm up in the Chrysler Building. Man, he hated elitists. Man, it was kind of funny because he used to have a softball team that he used to call Snob Hill. It was that was the name of the team, Snob Hill. He used to mock those type of people, even though he knew his stuff and he talked very blue collar. He talked extremely blue collar, plain, but he did know his financial stuff to the max. That was my uncle. He lived out in the countryside, up in the hills in New Jersey, where you can go hunting out in the backyard. But he worked in New York City every day in Manhattan. So. But, elitism is the art of being a snobby asshole. So, but snobby assholes don't get you anywhere. The thing is, trouble is, everybody wants to be an elitist. So they stop doing anything. Everybody thinks they're special. So they stop doing anything, And not everybody could be an elitist. And the thing is, even these elitist yo-yos, it's it's almost like you could put them in their castle and they're tucked away in their castle, but, just don't be fooled by their bullshit. That's all I got to tell you. Don't be fooled by their, how'd you make it? Did they make it? They probably were crooks. But, back in the 50s, A lot of people were doing sewing. Actually, it was one of the things, sewing class. Now, how many, you don't even see this today. Do you see this today? Where people go to school in high school and they learn sewing? No, they'll learn sociology. You know, something stupid like that. I mean, it's not that bad, but nobody tells anybody about sewing today. It's like, why is that? Actually, I think about that. It's almost like if you told a woman, like, hey, how about would you like a sewing machine for a gift or something? Well, maybe they would like that. But, a lot of people would think that was sexist. But, I always think of like the sewing machine as, I got one myself. I want to get another one that's a real heavy duty one, but I got a fairly heavy duty one. But they are the most, back in the 50s, that was like, wow, you got a great Singer sewing machine, and you can make anything with it. You can make drapes with it. You can make your clothes with it. You can modify your clothes. You could do upholstery with it. You can do every damn thing, right? Today, nah. But back then, man, if you had a Singer sewing machine, it's like, wow, that's great. But people were proud to do things on their own. Now it's like people just want to buy shit and be special. So what's the problem here, man? Why is that? Why is that? So if you're really fighting the elite, it's not like, oh, look at your Illuminati symbolism. Who gives a damn about their stupid Illuminati symbolism? Who gives a damn? Really? Who cares? Who cares, man? And you just got to go back to square one. Actually, square one was, you look back at a cottage industry. Cottage industry, man. They were making their own yarn, man. People wouldn't do that stuff today. Too damn. They will if they're forced to, if they got to eat. Hey, man, you're not going to, if you don't make any yarn today, you're not going to eat. So, well, they would then. But that was how the situation was. But the thing is, if you want to get away from these elitist Snob Hill yo-yos, the real answer is cottage industry. It's staring you right in the face. But there's so many different types of cottage industries out there. It doesn't need, you could be a mechanic, you could be a roofer, you could be, masonry, stonework. I mean, anything, fencing, I don't know, whatever. Sewing's a freaking kick-ass freaking profession, man. And there's so much in this profession that it could be heavy-duty sewing or whatever. It could be light-duty embroidery or whatever. But nobody really gets into that. How many women are actually into sewing today than they were today compared to the 50s? I don't know what the ratio is, but back in the 50s, it was like the rage. Now it's like, ew, you doing sewing? I don't know why. I mean, maybe somebody's going to hear this that is into sewing, but in the 50s, it was much more popular. It should be popular. I think it's cool, to tell you the truth, but now it's like the feminists actually said, ooh, that's demeaning. Really? I'll do sewing too, man. I want to sew the upholstery on my cars, man. I want to put new cat stuff in here, leopard and cheetah upholstery in my cars. Anyways, but today everybody wants to be, some hotshot on a phone in a business and acting like they got the world on a string and pay me and yeah, we're making a deal and blah blah blah. That's what they want to do. They want to be over there like, yeah, I'm special, blah blah blah. So I mean, this is why. And really, you got all these types of professions like this. Why? Because you got a lot of bureaucracy, because you got a lot of garbage you got to comply with. I mean, the kind of regulations you got today is getting ridiculous. But, you can always fly below the radar. The other thing is, too, I want to actually get into this area, too. Transportation. Now, I know I said stuff about foreign cars, but, back in the day, one of the kick-ass things, like, because actually, this is getting to be something where these are becoming disposable. They're going to have programmed Google cars, and you're going to take away your freedoms to go for anywhere you want. Watch. You know what? If you went, I'm going to tell you this just now, but people won't do this. The Volkswagen 1.6 diesel, like used to be in a Rabbit, the old one, man, you can run vegetable oil on that thing. You can go to the restaurant, strain out the grease and freaking pour it in the gas tank, run it on there. You can run an HHO system, and when you run the HHO with the diesel, the damn thing gets super low mileage and stuff like that. And it burns super clean. It gets really, it's free gas and it burns real clean. But nope, everybody's got to have the latest GQ high-tech garbage, instead of something practical. So Look at me, I'm special. So they sell you options today, right? They do this even with vehicles. So, like we got, it's almost like the engineers will figure that out. Yeah, right. Sure, they'll figure it out. They already did figure it out. Actually, it's been figured out. Now they're moving away from it. Now they're giving you disposable garbage that if you buy a car today, it's a disposable piece of crap that you're never going to be able to fix on your own. That's another thing. So that's another pet peeve of mine. So actually, this is one foreign jobber that I don't think is too bad. The old VW diesel. So, but today everybody wants to be special. They want a job, right? They want a job. They want a nice clean desk. They want to be special. They want to, they want a paycheck, and they want to feel good about this. They want to feel good about themselves. They want a nice and friendly environment. But they don't want to get their hands dirty. They don't want to get involved with something that you got to make something. It's got to come out good. It's actually got to be correct. It's like it's all paper shuffling bureaucracy, feeding the freaking government bureaucracy. And actually the way to freaking get around it is just pick up your own, just pick up yourself and use your own two hands and make things on your own. And a lot of people just won't do that. There's always something that somebody can do that they can gravitate to, no matter what it is. I mean, it could be, the sewing, it could be the gardening, it could be the bricklaying, it could be the welding, it could be, I don't know, with the pottery, whatever, skilled arts, or whatever. But, this was actually the industry of the United States. This was the industry of the United States. Yes, you have to have a market, but, when you start thinking about it, there always is a market out there. There always is a market. I know sometimes they say the textile industry got destroyed in the United States due to like the Chinese, and that is quite true. Or even due to Mexico, that is quite true. But there's always ways to rebound in other ways. And what I say is, I think that even if the major industries got destroyed, why not bring the industry right into the household itself? In other words, you, instead of buying something made in China or India or Mexico even, right? Even though they're right down the block, they're still not in the United States, say or whatever, whatever. The thing is, you can make it yourself. You can do the job yourself. I mean, maybe you got to buy a Chinese sewing machine to do the job, but maybe you got to buy a Chinese made in China trowel to do the job. But the thing is, or maybe, well, I think there's a few made in USA welders left. But the thing is, you can do the job. You can do the job on yourself. So I'm talking about cottage industry is actually the solution to the New World Order, and that's actually the solution to fighting the elitists. Cottage industry means household, individual, not even like on a small business, not even on a mid-sized business, not even anything like, I'm talking about just household, almost like a hobbyist type industry. Anything you do on your own could actually go into a bigger industry. In other words, if you got good at welding, if you got good at gardening, whatever. If you got good at gardening, you did so much produce, you couldn't maybe you decided, well, I'm going to can some of the foods, right? Maybe you're out there, you're doing fishing. You decided, I'm going to do fishing, right? I caught so much fish, I'm so damn good at it, I started canning fish. Then you start selling the cans of fish, or you start selling the cans of gardens. I know you're going to start trying to make that illegal, but don't tell anybody, you know what I mean? Make sure you got a good quality product out there. Or maybe, you got good at, you did something, you sewed something up, and somebody says, wow, I'm really impressed how that looks. You sewed up your mini skirt. You said, wow, I sewed up this thing over here or something, right? You really say she sewed something, right? You sewed up this chair, and you say, wow, I put a neat red cover on this chair. And you say, well, could you do that for mine? Yeah, sure. And you charge a fee, right? And, what the hell? Cottage industry is almost like chipping away at the elitist freaking satanic robotic machine and throwing sand in the wheels, piece by piece by piece, and you can do it. It's too big. The elitists are too big to fight head on. You don't want to do that. But all these little efforts make a difference. They make a difference. You know, actually, I would laugh. Actually, you know, if I saw the automotive industry just stop selling cars. You know, actually, I realize that not everybody does. I kind of know a lot about cars. It's kind of weird. I do know that stuff because when I was going to college, I was fixing cars and for money for college. And the thing is, you know, if everybody was like nobody bought a car anymore, they're fixing the old ones, and making them like brand new again or something like that, and just restoring all the classics. Oh my God, the freaking CEOs up on the top, they'd have a conniption. You know, they would have a conniption. But you know, everybody wants the latest bells and whistles because they're special, right? But cottage industry, actually, you know, when you're talking cottage industry, that's smaller than small business. That's like sole proprietor type stuff, and you could be doing it part time. And you could start it as a hobby. You could do whatever the hell you want. Anything. Like I says, you know, if you produce one thing with, you know, say for instance, you produce the garden, you got extra stuff, you sell it. You got extra tomatoes, you sell it, whatever. You do, you know, somebody says you like the wall you did or something. You're like, oh yeah, you want to do that for my house? Oh sure, yeah. You know, maybe it's on the interior of the house where they're not going to be getting a building permit or something. You know what I mean? But you know, or maybe it's one of these small walls that goes around or something that you don't need a building permit, because I know a lot of this garbage gets complicated. But you know, that's how it is. That's how you fight the elitists. You don't want to be like buying everything made in foreign. And once this economy starts rolling this way, that's actually been the American economy. It's been cottage industry. It's, you know, people almost looking for a magic bullet, magic solution. It's not that way. Actually, I'm going to tell you, be quite honest, the people, this is why I don't like the alternative media. The people in the alternative media screaming about, oh, the elitist, they're actually putting negative vibes out there to the max. They're actually making you seem like it's hopeless, everything's bad, it's impossible. We lost our freedoms in 1913 when the Federal Reserve got passed. Yeah, really? Really? Okay, sure. Anyway, you know, I mean, that wasn't a great thing, but we didn't lose our freedoms when the Federal Reserve Act. We never broke away from the cruelty of the UK. Yeah, really? Okay. You know, I love these welders. You know why I like these welders? You know, if you got the $250,000 Mercedes, you got the elitist asshole in there, you weld the doors shut, you leave him in there, right? Hey, man, you're welded in. Anyway, that's just kidding. But you know what I mean, right? You know what I mean? So, I mean, cottage industry has been what the USA has been about. It wasn't even small business. Cottage, it was freaking total on your own, man. Actually, back in the day, in the 1800s, even like 150 years ago, I think most people were farmers. Most. It's not a bad thing, man. It's not a bad thing to know someone. That's something I need to learn, because I'm a city boy and I know the mechanical stuff, but the farming stuff, I don't know that stuff either. I can turn a wrench, man, but I'm not too good with maybe I can learn it, but you know, it's another thing. But I do know some other stuff. But the point is, cottage industry is the whole key to like, you know, the whole game, all the stupid stuff. But you know, people want to buy. They don't want to do it. Most people don't want to do it. But you know, I'm going to say this: survival to the fittest, survival to the people that want to do the job. And you're going to see, like I said, you're going to see a lot more how-to videos from me. You know, today it was how to taking down most of my Christmas decorations, but leaving most of them up for another week. Well, not most of them. I'm leaving some of them up for another week because, hey, Christmas ain't over till another week. You know what I mean? So, not because I didn't want to take them. I didn't want to take them all down. I did most of them, but that took a lot of time. So that was my cottage industry for the day today, most of it. But anyway, just want to tell you that the guys on from the alternative media. They're telling you 1776, the Revolution, and the Constitution. They're big business yo-yos. You know what they are? You know what they are? The ones in the alternative media, like Gerald Celente, even Alex. Alex Jones doesn't aggravate me too much, but I know he's a Infowars owned by the Time Warner dude too. But all of them out there. They're not this. They're not the seamstress that's making the yarn. None of them are. They're not doing this. What they are is this. This is what they are, right there. Or this. That's all they are. That's all they are. They're not telling you nothing. That's why I don't even like doing these kind of videos too much. I'm doing it more for psychological support, but I'm telling you, even if you look back in the 50s, it wasn't utopia la la land in the United States. People just worked. They had to do stuff. The one thing I kind of noticed though, I kind of got on with the sewing, and I says, man, sewing used to be such a hot freaking hobby amongst women. They were like, wow, they got the latest singer sewing. Now it's almost like it's demeaning. Here it is. Crap, man. I probably will get another sewing machine. I got the one that's fairly heavy duty. I'm probably gonna get a real heavy duty one that does like upholstery and stuff. And hey man, it's sewing some kick-ass stuff, man. I know some women are into it, but it's not what it used to be. And if that alone tells you what's wrong with the United States. This is more the norm than sewing is today, right? Hi. What's on the agenda? Anyway, so that's all I got to say about this. We really got the solution right in front of your face. It's staring you right there. It's staring you right there. People will do it when they figure it out, but the alternative media is actually giving you a rotten message. They're telling you it's hopeless. They're telling you, the enemy's coming. What are they going to do? They're going to kill you. Sounds like Alex Jones, right? They're coming at you. Oh no. I can imagine. If I was in a foxhole with Alex Jones, right? I got to say this. If I was in a foxhole with Alex Jones, and that asshole was telling me, the tanks are coming. They're going to spread gas on us. They got machine guns up there. I'd shoot him. I'd take his gun, his ammo, and I'd use it, and I'd kill the fuckers on the other side. I really would. The guy is not helping me, man. I'm not saying I'm shooting him in right now, but if he was in a foxhole with me and the enemy was out here, I know what Alex Jones would be telling me. Look at the Illuminati symbols on their helmets. You asshole. I don't need that kind of shit. I want to know is how do we clobber them? You know what I mean? And the way you clobber them is cottage industry. Like this chick, she could probably sell stuff. That's what I would be putting her for. Hey, sell some, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. So, anyway, use your imagination on that deal.